Hi everyone, Brian here, the founder of DAIM. This is the summary video to go along with our most recent letter. There's been two pieces of good news lately. The XRP ruling basically stated that tokens on exchange are not securities. And then just this week, we had the court rule that the SEC needs to re-review GBTC being converted to a Bitcoin ETF. This pushed the price higher. However, we did see a bit of a pullback late yesterday as the SEC has now pushed out the review date on several other Bitcoin ETFs into October. This could just really be some people in the crypto space kind of throwing popcorn at the SEC. Professional traders, we all expected that the SEC is going to push these out as far as possible, but we're going to talk more about this in a little bit. Price forecast in the medium term, we still think above 40,000 is in play. On the short term side, the range is probably 25 to 30,000. It's going to be dependent on what good news might come out here. Also pay attention this weekend, even though it's a holiday weekend, liquidity is going to be thin, so there might be some volatility that comes into the space. Back to a Bitcoin ETF. So with the SEC having to re-review GBTC, we think the probabilities of a Bitcoin ETF have gone up, and not only gone up, but also that it might happen sooner than later. And kind of on the back of what happened yesterday, the SEC might be trying to line up a bunch of these Bitcoin spot ETFs to, in all fairness, just approve them all at once so that they just don't approve one and then that one gets all the AUM. So here you'll see a list of Bitcoin spot ETFs that are pending approval. This could very well be close to the list that gets approved in bulk if that's what the SEC decides to do. And so when one or a bunch of these get approved, what can we expect? Well, there'll be a nice short-term bump to holders' portfolios, and it will come at the luxury of the ETF just being easy to click and on every trading platform. However, there's a couple downsides. An ETF has a management fee, so it won't track exactly with the price of Bitcoin. And the other thing is that Bitcoin oftentimes has large moves over the weekend when there's low liquidity. So for example, on Friday night or even into Saturday, the price could go up a lot. And if you want to seize that and take profits, you can sell your pure Bitcoin, right? But you couldn't do that with an ETF because it's not open for trading. And so if the price was to come back down and you're still waiting for Monday for the ETF to open, well, you could have just missed that whole move. So we still think spot Bitcoin is the way to go. But what if there's not a Bitcoin ETF and the SEC leans on investor protection? Well, yeah, there could be a short-term sell-off, but in reality, we think we'll be fine. Look at things like fine art, wine, exotic cars. Their markets do just fine without an ETF. And here you can look at Bitcoin's price action so far without an ETF. We think with still a lot of room for adoption and development like L2s, ordinals, smart contracts, that this trend will continue. Okay, a few things that are noteworthy are exotic car dealership client Merino Performance recently saw a buyer use cryptocurrency. We are seeing an uptick in activity in the space. If you happen to be in the market for a car, do check these guys out. They do take crypto and we love working with them. Okay, now an update on our model portfolio. The total return since 2018 is 406%. That puts the annualized return right around 36%. And we benchmark against Bitcoin, and we've added a little over 30% units to accounts on an equivalent basis. And lastly, if you're a business owner and you're seeing this, now's the time of year when you look at your 401k plan and see if there's any better options out there, whether it be from fees to investments that can be inside the portfolio. We here do something that's really unique. Our portfolios have the ability to allow the employees to invest a portion of their retirement money in pure Bitcoin. And we find that this is something that gets them excited about saving for retirement. And so if you're doing a review and you want to talk to us about what we do that's unique, especially when it comes to having Bitcoin in there, hit us up. We'll be glad to talk to you about it. All right, everyone, that's a wrap. Have a good long holiday weekend and talk to you next month.